Should there be a Caribbean stock exchange, and how would that even work? I'm Kalila Enriquez Reynolds, founder and CEO of Money Media, Money Made Simple. The Caribbean Private Sector Organization has picked PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, to conduct a study to determine if a regional stock exchange could actually work. Now, the idea of a Caribbean stock exchange has been around for years now. The thought is that Caribbean countries are too small on their own to have a truly liquid and robust market. With one regional exchange, companies from across the region could list their shares on a central market. And this would not only give businesses a larger pool of potential investors, but also make it easier for companies to grow and expand into different territories. But realistically, there are a lot of hurdles to clear. Here's what Taking Stock analyst David Rose had to say.
Jamaica, Trinidad, and Barbados, based on their economic models and setups, they have deeper capital interests by different investors and so on, so they can sell on their own as relative giants in their own spheres. But for example, in the Eastern Caribbean, they share an Eastern Caribbean dollar. They share an Eastern Caribbean stock market. Go to Guyana. They have a stock market that's only open on Mondays. And that, I don't think it's traded for like probably 3 hours good. And they have a T+5 settlement period. And on top of that, there are just other considerations that people need to consider.
See, different countries have different currencies and settling times, so settling trades across borders could be tricky. Then you're also talking about different governments and different regulations. For instance, in Jamaica, the process for share buybacks is much quicker than in Trinidad. There, the process can take months because of their very specific rules. There's also the challenge of political will. Other attempts at regional integration and cooperation have failed before. For example, the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME, was established in 2001, and many would argue that the Caribbean still does not have a single market and most certainly not a single economy. But the biggest hurdle will probably be the lack of a single currency. Some countries have fixed exchange rates like Belize and Barbados, both pegged at 2-to-1 USD, while others like Jamaica and Guyana have floating currencies. Jamaica is currently 160-to-1 US, while Guyana is at 200-to-1. Which rate or which currency would we use to settle transactions? Because TT dollars have no use for me in Jamaica and vice versa. Or do we use the US dollar, which opens up problems about availability of USD? Or what about Bitcoin? See the problem? So without strong commitment from leaders, a regional stock exchange might never get off the ground. But that's what the PwC study will look at, and I'm very curious to see what they come up with. All these issues will be considered, and they'll suggest the best way forward. I'd love to see it happen, but am I optimistic? Unfortunately, no. And that's the bottom line. But what do you think? Should there be a single stock exchange for the entire Caribbean? And how would that work? Let me know in the comments. Go to getmoneynews.com for more info like this straight to your inbox. The link is in my bio or in the description. Let's get this money.
Let's get this money.